Hey, what's up? This is Rik Oostenbroek and I'm an illustrator and art director from the Netherlands. I've been using Photoshop for over 15 years right now, and I want to share some tips and tricks I gathered over those 15 years with you guys today. What we're gonna do is take an image from Adobe stock and turn that into an abstract portrait. Today I'm going to take you through my creative process and we're going to focus on creating an abstract portrait with stock photography. I will add some magic to the original photo by adding abstract elements to our composition. Throughout the years, I've always been fascinated by elegant photography with loads of human skin involved. Why? Because skin and humans are fun elements to play with in Photoshop, and the organic structure of the body is just a huge inspiration in my work. We're going to create something like the series I did a while ago for Adobe stock. I really wanted to make sure the photo has plenty of skin, an elegant vibe to it, and a nice posture to start our project with. So, let's dive in and find the right photo for this tutorial. So this is the look we're going after in this tutorial. I used a photo from Adobe stock to create an abstract portrait by simply using the pen tool and some brushes. First, you need to isolate the photo, of course, but there are plenty of ways of doing that, so I don't want to waste my time on that. Then you add a background and simply add a gradient map to create like a little bit of nicer contrast in the photo itself. So this is where the magic happens. We start drawing our path by just like using the pen tool over the model. So that way, like you kind of mask out certain body parts by creating a more of an abstract composition and make it more surrealistic in a way. So doing that, I use the pen tool and I create paths. Like, why do I do that? Because you can easily reselect them and mask them out at some point. So you see me drawing over paths where body parts, like I try to find the right kind of body parts to mask out. It takes a while, of course, but I figured the best way it works is looking for that like natural kind of curvy parts in the body, because that way it blends the best like with the photo itself. So there isn't like too much contrast in between the curves you create and the curves on the natural body. And I really figured that's the best way of doing that. So once you've done that, like you can go as crazy as you want. Like, because this is a short tutorial, I need to kind of keep it minimal. So I subtract the mask from it, I mask it out, I invert it, I duplicate it, and I invert it again. Why do I do that? Because right now you see our original photo popping up, and what that creates is some certain contrasting color. So you got the colored photo on bottom, and that's like how you create the depth. So we have like two skin layers right now. What's cool about that, like you can go endless with that. You can create thousands of skin layers if you want to, but we actually repeat the same process as we did before by just masking out parts of that new skin layer as well. That way you have two layers of depth right now. As with the original photo, it was just one. Just make sure like the colors don't stand out too much. I'm not a fan of high contrasted colors, but that's just a personal thing for me. If you like big and bold colors, you can go as crazy if you like. Right now, we create a third layer. How do we do that? Simply merge the portrait layer, your top layer, or create a smart object out of that, and take out bits and pieces, copy and paste them over them, and then you have a nice floating things, like, I don't know, like floating skin parts or whatever you like to call them, over your photo. So that's our third layer we're adding. And I really think like that's something it brings to life. We start to kind of like mess around with the colored layer to make some variation on it, introduce more colors, introduce bits of shadow, highlights even, whatever you like. So then I added a vignette to the background because it looks better. I don't know, it creates some sense of depth. And then the most essential part comes for me personally, where I start brushing in with just like a regular soft brush, like the most basic brush you can find in Photoshop, with pressure, of course, because that makes sense, and start to create depth layers. That way we create some sort of like realistic sort of shadow to then recreate another Another method of creating shadows, actually like drawing paths, like just the way we masked our portrait the first time. We draw paths, put them on a clipping mask over your skin layer, I would say, to boost that extra part of shadow. What I do then, like I'm not too satisfied with the dark look it had, so I brought back the original photograph to blend it in with our surrealistic look. So we have a bit of surrealism and realism blended at the same time. I really felt that brought this piece together, and that's the reason why I done it. So that's how you turn your photo into an abstract portrait. Thanks a lot for watching this tutorial. I hope you've learned something from my process. Be sure to check out my Instagram or Behance to follow my creative journey.